operative techniques for extracting teeth of different types of pet teeth in pets. Now, usually we can just like look at the teeth and be like, yeah, this tooth has periodontitis, it has to go. But basically, we usually use x-rays as well to tell us if we need to do a simple or closed extraction. Or a surgical open one. So yeah, what are the different types? So you have the simple type, which is closed. And as the word closed implies, it means you're not cutting the gum open. It's just literally here you're using the dental luxator to just remove the tooth. So, you put the luxator in the gum and you put it 360 degrees around the tooth until the tooth loosens. Whereas with the surgical or open technique, the open word implies that it's more, as you can see, surgical, because you're literally going to cut open the gum. So anyway, just quick definitions really. So with the closed technique, yes, as I kind of said, you put the dental luxator into the sulcus around the tooth and you work apically in the periodontal ligament space. So what this basically means is you don't just go around, you sort of will go back and forth like so. And you'll use forceps to basically grab the tooth after when it's very loose, and you gently will twist it out of place. So you don't use this, you use forceps. Now with the open technique, so here are your forceps I mentioned. With the open technique, it's a surgical extraction so this is with teeth that are multi-rooted or they're unusually shaped or have large single-rooted teeth. So as you can see, this looks like a canine to me because it's very long. And although it's only single-rooted, it's very deep in the mandible. So the only way you can access it is not with the luxator, as I mentioned. You have to literally do the open technique, which is cutting open the gum. Now you have different techniques. So this is the single rooted technique. So you do a linear incision halfway down the root. You just sort of guess by eye where it is. And you use something called a periosteal elevator, which is here. And you basically remove the gum away to expose the root, which sounds horrible. So yeah, that's what we've kind of done here. And use the elevator at the root, at the very end of the root, and you do basically the same thing we did before until it's mobile. Then you use your extraction forceps, remove, and then you suture. So I don't know if it's here. Yeah, so these are your forceps removing the tooth, and then you suture the area. And yeah, just like I said, it's a canine, so the root is hugely deep. So let me see. Yeah, so this is the part of the crown that was actually exposed. This is the whole root. This was under the gum, so of course you had to use the open surgical technique. And yeah, you can do this with a mucoperiosteal flap. So you don't just have to like incise here. If it's easier for you, you can like do a much larger incision. You flip the gum over, and you can literally cut out the root of the tooth because you can see it, and you do like just larger sutures. I imagine it's not done as often though. Now with a double rooted tooth, that's still single rooted. There you go. With a double rooted tooth, you will cut the gum open. Let me see. Yeah, so the vet's doing that now. You incise the gum and you use an elevator to expose the roots. So that's kind of gross. You kind of scrape away the roots. And then what you will use is a burr. So this is a high-speed drill. We kind of mentioned these briefly, but you can change the ends of these drills. So they can sometimes be flat, but they can be long like this. And what you do is basically use it to section the tooth in half because it's got two roots. You can even see the roots here. You cut it in half. And then what you do is you use your luxator, same as before, elevators, doesn't matter, to loosen the tooth part. So you basically will put this in the middle, go around 360 degrees but around one of the teeth parts, and you sort of move apically towards the periodontal ligament, and you just make sure there's no debris in the socket, and then you suture. So we loosen the teeth parts, take out the teeth parts with the forceps, and I don't know if they show the suturing part. So in this hole you'll make sure there's no debris after you remove the tooth roots, because remember you've cut the teeth in half, so it's more likely to, and you can use this to sort of see, and then you can suture. Where is it? Okay, now with 3 rooted teeth, it's actually the same as 2 roots. So I'll just sort of summarize it. I'm trying to find it. Okay, so let's use this picture. So you incise the gum, you use the elevators to expose the root. So this is the part where we've already cut the gum and the elevators are exposing the root. Use a high-speed drill, but you'll divide the tooth maybe into 3 parts or 2 parts, even though it's 3 rooted, it depends. And what you'll do as well, yes, you can use like a probe to see if there's any debris left in the root canal. But what you can also do is even use a radiograph to see if there's a lack of debris. The dog will be under general anesthesia, so it's definitely possible. And yeah, you know, after you use the high-speed drill, use luxators or elevators around the tooth parts, 360 degrees to loosen the teeth. And then same as usual, you use forceps to remove the tooth and sutures. Is that it? Yep.